I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go. It's another edition of the Daily Puck Drop. It's Friday, July 11th. We come to you live via Twitter, YouTube, the Puck Sports mobile app. Download it today if you don't have it to your smartphone, iPhone, Android. Does not matter. Every day, 10 o'clock, except for the other day when it was 11 o'clock. We go live at 10 a.m. to roughly 11:30. We're going to cut a little short today, but we'll explain here in just a few minutes. Also, the entire show, all of it, the Daily Puck Drop, goes up on YouTube afterwards. Also, you can find it on your favorite podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. And, of course, find everything up at pucksports.com. We're broadcasting from the Limback Lumber Studios. Contractors, they got free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects. Largest stock moldings in the Northwest. Give Limback Lumber a call, 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from Parts Unknown. Oh, Jesus. Why are you so loud? Jesus. Stop with the papers. God, you're loud. Stop. Jesus. Seriously, stop. God. You know how loud that is? Jesus.
No, I can't hear it.
Oh, good God. That was the loudest thing in the world, whatever you were
So
doing.
it was just a paper? It wasn't dogs barking or anything?
It's just all of it. Where do we find you today on your adventures? Someone's backyard? Thank you. It's glad that you could stop on by.
I'm just laughing because the last 7 minutes have not gone well, have they? I mean,
well, you've been
upset with me. Okay, let me ask the listener something. So I'm over in Spokane. I'm at a friend's house. I'm out on her patio. Beautiful day in the greater Inland Empire. We love it over here in Spokane. You know why? Because there's a million Cougs that live here. And so I'm a fellow Coug, and I'm wearing my Coug shirt proudly today.
Okay, everybody knows that.
But like when you charge your phone, listeners, viewers, don't you just do you have the phone right by you when you charge the phone? No, you're fucking, over, in some other room, charging your phone. So Puck was trying to get a hold of me, and he was upset that he couldn't get a hold of me. And I was just talking to my friend, and I don't know what to say about that.
For a listener, for an hour.
I had the phone on. Okay, but like last night, you texted me, hey, what are we going to do tomorrow? Are we going to do it live? Are we going to do it? We're going to record it. I can record it. I texted you right back and said, sure, I can do either one. And then you didn't respond to me, but I wasn't upset with you for not responding to me.
Yeah, you were.
No, I wasn't upset at all. But anyway, yeah.
Just had to run something by. Hey,
and then the show starts and you're giving me shit about like my paper rustling or something.
It was like the loudest.
The wind is fucking blowing over here in the Inland Empire. And I apologize right now to the person who asked me not to swear anymore.
It was just loud.
Well, it was like, fuck a deer, okay? Fuck me dead, damn it. I'm going to start swearing, okay?
No, you can't swear. No swearing.
Okay. All right.
No swearing.
It just was a love you. I still love you, Puck, but
it's not the other way around. It was just a little loud.
Whoops, I screwed something up here.
Oh, you did. Of course you did.
Can you still see me?
Can I still see you? I can still see you. Yes.
Okay. All right. I still love you, but it's just like in your marriage sometimes where you just kind of go, Jesus Christ, like I don't know how much more of this I can take.
I had to really.
What did I do?
Really?
What? It's the other way around. It's the other way around. How much more can you take?
How much longer can I take? Really?
I did say that.
I did
say that.
That is rich.
I think if we ran a Twitter poll, it'd be like, let's see, like who's more frustrated with who? Is it Jim with Puck or Puck with Jim? I think I'd win. Who would win in that one?
I would win.
You would win?
Yeah.
God damn it! You know what? You're probably probably right. Well, I can't see you anymore.
Well, you did something. So again,
I hit something on the screen here, but if I even mess with it, it'll go away probably, and then I'll lose you.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. I was just going to tell you that in about 5 minutes we're going to have the first live appearance of the Scout because the Scout could not tape this morning. So the scout's got to come on. I wanted to get the scout on because it's the Major League Baseball draft coming up this weekend. So we wanted to get him on. We'll have him on for a few minutes. Chris Egan will join us at the bottom of the hour, but we got breaking news, though. Have you seen the breaking news? You know what I love about you not being able to see me? It's as if you're blind and you're kind of like looking all over.
I don't even know what happened there.
Jim Moore. Whatever. If you keep hitting something, you are going to.
No, I think I'm coming back to you.
Stop touching things because that's when it's going to go away. Guaranteed. Have you seen the breaking news on Julio Rodriguez?
What are they doing? Did he say, I don't deserve to be at the All-Star game? I'm not going. Did they lower him to 7th in the order? Is he hurt? What is it?
He is pulled out of the All-Star game. The Mariners have announced to, quote, recuperate, rest, and prepare for the second half of the season.
What?
That's the statement from the Mariners. To recuperate, rest, and prepare for the second half of the season. Julio Rodriguez will not participate in the All-Star game.
So what is our reaction to that?
What's your reaction?
Well, I'm trying to have that reaction that Rick Riz would give you, as in, I think that's a great idea. Julio, that's a good idea for the young man to rest and recuperate and be ready to go when the Houston Astros come to town. It'll be another beautiful day at the ballpark. That's what we're supposed to say, right?
Say it.
Aren't we supposed to say that?
Say what you want to say.
Well, I don't even know what it is I want to say, but I think it's not along the lines of what Rick Riz is going to be saying on the next broadcast.
I will say this about it. Whatever has gone into this decision for him, he's a guy that wants to participate in the All-Star game. I don't think this is I would say this. Why he came to this decision, none of us will know. Only he knows this. But it couldn't have been an easy decision. We can acknowledge that there's no way that making this decision was an easy one for him. Should we not give him some credit for it? If he's thinking, hey, maybe I need to relax a little bit and get ready for the second half of the season. Should we not praise him a little bit for it? Or are we now going to find fault with him because it doesn't matter what he does. We find fault with anything that he does apparently lately.
Well, I think you're probably right about that. Did I just lose you?
No, you're there.
Oh, okay. No, I think you're right. I think that's a good attitude to have, Puck. I think you're right. Clearly something is troubling him, though. Can we say that? Could we make a guess as to why he would pull out of the All-Star game? Because I think you're right. I think he considers himself an All-Star. I think I heard you talking about it the other day. I think it was with Divish or someone. Do you think, does he hear the noise that he doesn't deserve to be there? How would he feel about that if he did hear the noise? Those types of things. I think he probably has heard that, and maybe he's questioning himself a little bit. And I can see why. Okay, this is a positive thing, and this is a young guy that. What is he? I mean, Travis texted us last night, 4 for his last 37 or something like that.
Yeah, he's not off to a good start.
Yeah, so he hasn't been hitting the ball well. We all know that he's been hitting too many ground balls, not enough balls in the air, not getting the power numbers that you're looking for a supposed superstar like Julio Rodriguez. So, yeah, maybe it'll do him some good to just get a mental break and then work with Seitzer and Edgar maybe during the time off and get his swing back. And we can see that Julio that we usually see in July, August, and September historically here in Seattle. So, yeah, it seems to me like it's mostly a positive thing, but I sure would like to go behind the curtain and find out what the real story is on that.
Well,
because there's more to it than that.
Yeah, we'll get more into it. I want to welcome. This is the first time we've ever done the live interview with the scout via the phone. I have no idea if this is going to work, to be honest with you. So if it doesn't work, we'll bail out of it. Okay. I'm
kind of hoping it doesn't work so that I won't be the only buffoon, where has cyber problems. I'm thinking that maybe the scout is a guy my age and he might have issues too. So let's see how it goes.
It could be. Scout, are you there?
I'm here, Puck.
Scout, Jim, can you hear the scout?
I can hear the scout.
Okay. All right, Scout, welcome to the live version. I can't believe this works. The Scout is with us. He is our anonymous baseball scout who has been covering and been around baseball for the past 30 years in the college game, now on the pro game scouting, all things MLB. It's the Major League Baseball draft coming up this week, Scout. We want to talk to you about that. But I first want to start with this. Can Laz Montes just be called up now? Have you seen what he is doing in Arkansas? And you told me, I think a week or two ago, that this, it's more pitcher friendly down in Double-A. It's harder to hit, but he is destroying the baseball right now, Scout.
Yeah, he obviously is, super talented guy with especially that body and those types of tools. And the week I had him, it wasn't his best week in Everett, but like I said, he's a super talented player, and that's the reason why he's one of the top players in minor league baseball.
Hey, Scout, I got a question for you before we get into the draft questions. What about the Mariner prospects? They're always the trade deadline coming up the end of July. Which ones are the don't touch guys that the Mariners should not trade at all? Is it Montes? Is it anybody else? Or should it just be a free for all? Anybody can have whoever they want as long as the Mariners get a good return on it.
Oh, did we lose? We lost them.
God, I thought it was me.
It was a great question you had. An absolute great question. Scout, are you still there?
I'm still there, Puck.
Okay. Did you hear Jim's question?
I did not.
Okay. Jim, he was asking about what was he asking about the young talent there, Jim?
Well, mostly, Scout. I was just wondering who the hands-off prospects are if the Mariners were to make a trade at the trade deadline, because a lot of people are thinking, yeah, you don't want to trade somebody who's going to be a superstar down the road, but at the same time, this is a squad that hasn't been to the World Series ever. So who are the guys that you don't want to touch, and who are the guys that are fine if you parted with?
You know what I'm thinking? I don't think he can hear you. You can't, Scout. You can't hear Jim ask a question, can you?
No, I can't hear Jim ask questions.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured. I knew there was going to be something why it wouldn't work during the live show, because he can't hear you. The young talent that the Mariners have overall, where does it stack up the rest of baseball, Scout?
Obviously, I only get to see X amount of teams. The Mariners happen to be a team on the, that I cover quite a few of their teams, so I know I would say I probably know their organization better than others. And gosh, I've got to believe it's at the top end of in the major leagues for sure, especially the young position players. I really like. Obviously, the Mariner fans are seeing the Harry Fords of the world and the Cole Youngs, but you've got some Emerson, and you got Montes, and you got Arroyo. There's some really good looking players. Especially offensive players. I mean, the Mariners right now are kind of known for their pitching, but they've got some really interesting and fun minor league hitters, and they're definitely exciting.
Okay, the draft that's coming up this weekend. Who right now, Scout, is there a clear-cut number one pick for the Washington Nationals?
I don't believe that there is. I mean, I think there's X amount of guys involved. I think the left-hander. I mean, anytime that you're picking at the top of the draft, most often is because your record's not so good, so you're trying to find guys that are closest to the big leagues that could help you instantly, unless there's a generational talent. In the past, the Nationals took Bryce Harper with the first pick, but you're talking about a generational talent right there too as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe a Kate Anderson from LSU is right in the mix, maybe an Ethan Holiday. Obviously, everybody knows the Holiday name with Matt Holliday's his father being a longtime big league all-star, and his brother Jackson was the first pick of the draft a couple of years ago. So if I was anybody looking out, I would look at maybe Anderson and Holiday for two of the guys that would probably be at the top of the list for the Nationals.
Yeah. What about the a lot of the mocks have had the kid from Oregon State going to Seattle, Scout? Give me an update and what you see from him.
Yeah, I think there's a mixed bag on him. I think if he doesn't go like 3 or 4 right there, then I think he probably slides a little bit inside of Tim. Though he's a great player, he's just kind of a unicorn when it comes to how he does it. He's 6'5", he's 220 pounds. There's not a lot of shortstops that look like him. He's also projectable, so there's going to be more size and strength added. So I think it's a mixed bag where people kind of think, hey, does he gain 20 more pounds? Does he play third base, or does he stick at shortstop? But he's a phenomenal player. He's a great kid. I think he's going to be, an everyday big leaguer for 10 years for somebody. And and playing some all-star games.
Scout, there's going to be a lot of familiar names in around the Pacific Northwest that are going to hear their name called this weekend. Let's start with the guy that should probably go ahead of everyone, Xavier Nyans. He's the shortstop, Mount Vernon. Where is he projected to go? When do you think he will hear his name called?
My guess is I would predict him to probably be at the back end of that first round, anywhere from 20 to 25, maybe 20 to 30. I could see that. He's a high school shortstop, but he's going to slide down to third base. He's got tremendous raw power. He can hit it over the fence. He's got a big arm. He's been on the national circuit for a long time, so a really famous guy. Good player, good kid. He's committed to Oregon State, but I have a hard time thinking if he's offered that first round money that he wouldn't take that opportunity.
What about Mason Pike, the pitcher out of Puyallup?
He's a 6 foot right-handed pitcher, and those are kind of the interesting studies. A lot of people don't like those high school pitchers, especially at the top end, like in the first round. I mean, there's a high school player in California that a lot of people have like as the first overall pick, Hernandez, but people get scared of him. So that's where kind of Mason. People I think get scared because of the height and right-handed, but I think he's fantastic. I could see him, going inside the first 2 rounds for sure. Like he's got a fastball up to 97. He's athletic. He can throw multiple pitches for strikes. So I'm a big fan.
Okay. Last one. We've talked about him before. Probably not going to go in the first couple of rounds. The catcher out of Ballard High School, because I'm wearing a Ballard hat. We got to ask about Truett Madonna.
Yeah, he's kind of got some healing. Truett had a great year. He kind of put himself on the scene. Last summer it was unfortunate for him because there was a big showcase called the Area Codes, and he had food poisoning and didn't get to play early. And to be a really, really high pick, you've got to kind of show out your junior summer in front of the powers to be. And he kind of was hidden a little bit, but he had a great senior year, and then he went to the draft league and he's played really, really well. If he decides to sign a contract, I could see somebody taking him in, that fourth, fifth type round potentially. But, he's got a bright future ahead of him no matter what. He's got a scholarship to UCLA. So he's in a really great position right now.
Great. Thank you, Scout. Appreciate the abbreviated visit. We'll talk next week after the draft. Thank you so much. And I thought Jim asked some great questions. It was really good.
Sounds great. I look forward to it.
Okay, there he is, the Scout with us. Normally we record the Scout. But he had to go live today because of his responsibilities with his Major League Baseball club. Jim, I'm sorry. I thought he would be able to hear you. I'm not sure why he was not able to hear you. So my fault.
That's okay, Puck. No problem at all.
I thought we asked, those are the questions that we were going to hit on. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You okay? You got the dogs? Are the dogs loose?
Hey, River, come here.
You're looking at one of them is out, about to get something. All right, so you heard there. It appears the Anderson kid will go number 1. And listen, we're talking about these guys like we know them. We don't know any of them. I know the LSU guy just because I watched like a couple of games. But the LSU guy most likely will go number 1 or Holiday. And it appears that maybe that Oregon State shortstop could be the guy there for the Mariners there at 3rd. But there are a lot of familiar names. There's a kid, also a shortstop over at Lakeside that is expected to be drafted, but everyone feels that he will go to college, go to Stanford. And not go into MLB. But Truett Madonna, the catcher for Ballard, but then the 2 first-round guys could be the Mason Pike kid out of Puyallup, and then also Xavier Nyans there for Mount Vernon. So back to the Julio. So why do you think he did it? Do you think someone made a suggestion? Do you think he was embarrassed that he was selected?
I don't think he's embarrassed that he was selected. I would think at that level, you have supreme confidence that you're an all-star. Julio considers himself an all-star and probably figures that he belongs there. But I don't know if he's played long enough to get that, to be grandfathered in, so to speak. Like,
because that's what it felt like, right? He kind of felt like he was grandfathered in.
It did feel that way. Yeah. And then you had all the different numbers, the Red Sox center fielder and others that probably were more worthy all-star selections than Julio. But no, and it has something to do. There's something wrong technically with his swing.
Yeah.
And so he wants to work on that. And I think, after me being a wise ass, saying what Rick Riz was going to say, I think I probably would be more in line with what Rick Riz is going to say, because it can't be a negative, can it? There really isn't a negative in this. I mean, I suppose it's a negative that we don't get to see him in the All-Star game, but we see him enough in a Mariner uniform, 162 games a year. So I'm good with that. He doesn't need to be there. And if he comes out in July, the end of July, being the Julio that we hope he'll be when the summer heats up, he always does too. So that's what we're looking for.
I think what you just said there is exactly right. And I don't think that there is a negative at all with this decision. I would try to find what the negative reaction would be to him electing not to go. Now, someone's gonna find it, and someone's gonna run with it, and scream about it, and all that, and make it 2-3 hour show. But I'm just trying. I'm really wrestling with what would the negativity around this be. Now, I am as a big of a fan of his. And Mitch and I talked about this yesterday on his appearance, another episode 8 or chapter 8 of KJ Arntz, available for Puck's Posse members right now. Pucksports.com. Sign up and watch and listen. And we said the exact same thing. I think we both, or Mitch said this, and I agree with him. He said, I've never pulled harder for a guy to succeed than him. That he wants to see him have success more so than any other player. And I agree with that because of how hard he plays, because of the joy he plays with. He just oozes charisma and oozes talent. And I think you're drawn to him. And so you want him to succeed. I wanted him to succeed last night when early in the game or late in the game, was it? Yeah, he had runners on the corners, 2 outs. Add on more runs. But he, again, it's been a tough start for him in the month of July. He's hitting 111. He's slugging 194 through 9 games. July's usually a great month for him. So I applaud him for doing this because I think the easy thing would have been said, I'll go. I was voted in. I'm going to go and enjoy my time. And I think maybe stepping back, reflecting on how this first half of the season has gone, at least offensively for him. And in the last week, Jim, it's not like he's played Gold Glove defense in the last week because he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. And I think you're right with just about everything you just said there. I mean, it's unusual when you come out with something, so profound and be correct 100% of what you had to say. But the joy, I think, Puck, is the one thing that stood out to me that we love about Julio is just the joy that he plays with, the passion that he has. And you appreciate that he runs out. I mean, old guys like me, he runs out ground balls. You never know.
Yes.
It might, the shortstop might short hop the first baseman and he fumbles around for it, looking for it. And that time that he's looking for the ball, maybe if you run it out, you'll be safe. And just the whole thing, the no-fly zone, everything he's doing out there, he plays to the crowd. And he doesn't just play to the crowd. It's genuine. It's not just it's showmanship in a genuine way. And so, yeah, I pull for him too. And the thing is, though, is I was just sitting here wondering while you were talking to the scout and he couldn't hear me, that how often has this ever happened where an all-star turns down an appearance and then uses a reason as far as like rest. He needs to rest up for the second half of the season. I think it might be unprecedented what he's doing. And I applaud if you're going to applaud Julio for what he's doing, I applaud the Mariners too, because most organizations, including the Mariners, because they've done this too, they would have come up with some sort of bogus injury as to why Julio wasn't going to be in Atlanta for the All-Star game. And the fact that they didn't do that, I think is awesome. It sounds like they're being honest. It lends more credibility to what they're doing over there. And I think it's great, hey, and will this be the start of things? Will other players do the same thing? Who knows? But right now, I mean, Julio seems to be the first to say, I'm not going to play in the All-Star game and not use an injury as an excuse.
Well, I think I'll tell you who's not happy. I mean, Major League Baseball's not going to be happy about it. Rob Manfred's not going to be happy about it because he is despite what maybe people feel out here about him, he is viewed as a, perennial top player in this game. And a
face of the game.
A face of the game. They want him there. Obviously, they do. They
probably would have. Rob Manfred, when he got the phone call, though, don't you think he was disappointed but understood?
No,
Oh, you don't?
I don't.
Okay. All right.
I don't think he understood. I think he's like, really? What are we doing? He was elected and he should go. I was just trying to, I was looking at something. I don't know if it's in there, and it's going to take me too much time to go and look at it. I wanted to see if in his contract, which is crazy, were there any, bonuses for anything in terms of all-star games?
Well, he certainly had a lot of incentives in there, and I wouldn't be surprised if All-Star Game was one of them. And that's probably something, if it is an incentive in his contract, that he called his agent and said, hey, man, look, I'm thinking about pulling out of the All-Star Game. Do I still qualify as being selected to get my incentive if it is in there, if I don't go?
Well, that's true. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because he was selected. Just because he doesn't play, I don't think that means anything, right? He was selected. I went through it real quick. I don't see anything in there about All-Star Game selections, but yeah, I don't think baseball, Rob Manfred would be happy about him pulling out. What you don't want to see is, and I don't think this is the case, you don't want to see a trend of, like, let's say he was having a great first half of the season, right? And he was voted in, and it was a no doubt it was an all-star. And then it's like, you know what? I'd rather relax and not participate. What you don't want is that, because you are trying to, grow the game and have your most popular players there. He's one of them. I don't think that's this. This is, hey, we are now out of the playoffs with that loss last night. Boston continues to scorching hot. I'm not particularly playing all that well. We need to pick it up. And there's a lot of pressure on us to win. And I place a lot of that pressure on my shoulders. I need a break. I need a mental break. And it's important. The team that I'm playing for is the team on the front of my jersey right now, and not the All-Star team. And I need to make a sacrifice. I don't know. I applaud the decision. I really do. I think it's a very mature decision to make. I think it's a guy that is looking out for the team first. And despite what people have opinions of him, and again, offensively, it has not been the season that he's wanted so far. And, he's been kind of making the same mistakes that he's made before. But I think he's recognizing that this final, whatever it is, I don't know how many more games they have left, 75 plus games, like, he has to get it going. Because if he doesn't turn it around, they'll miss the playoffs. Because they are missing him in a huge way to provide for that lineup on a nightly basis.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say if he were producing like Randy Arozarena has been lately, that he'd be at that All-Star game. And it clearly has something to do with being 4 for 37 in July or whatever it is. So yeah, you're right. I mean, do you think, though, Puck, a lot of speculation out there that they should drop him in the lineup? Would that help him? I think they should. And the main reason being, put him 6 or 7, even 5 if you want, whatever, somewhere down there in the order. And maybe it'll relieve the pressure a little bit, and maybe it'll charge him up too, where he'll be thinking, hey, man, I'm your number 2 hitter, and I'm going to show you why I'm your number 2 hitter and why you shouldn't have dropped me in the lineup, and put a chip on his shoulder. I don't see where there'd be anything wrong with doing that, at least in the short term.
No. And then, someone I agree with you. And someone just had brought this up, I think, during the chat. And I agree. Like, what is our opinion of him today had he thrown that runner out at third? That was a great throw. It was on time. It was perfect throw.
You mean at home?
At home, yeah. And Cal just, the guy it was a great slide. I'm not even going to fault Cal Raleigh for it. It was just a great slide. Sometimes the other team beats you. They beat him on that play. But
baseball screwed up by changing that catcher rule, by the way. Well, that could have been an all-time highlight play last night. And, to have the catcher where he can't obstruct the runner. That was cool when there were collisions at home plate and you tried to knock the ball out of the catcher's glove.
Okay.
That's part of
baseball. Want old school baseball.
That was part of baseball.
Okay.
I think new schoolers would agree with me on that.
All right.
Okay.
Right.
And then, you get one catcher injury out of however many collisions. And then you go, oh, God, we got to change that rule. Okay. Well, you see how far away from the plate Cal was when he took that throw?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and it was a matter of half a second. If he had that half a second where he was closer to the base, the baseline there, the runner would have been out. And the game would have continued. So, yeah, I know I'm just saying that as a Mariner fan, but I was also a catcher, and that kind of shit just bothers me.
Yeah, I get you.
I miss that because it was a perfect throw. And I don't know, maybe if Julio had thrown him out and they went on to win that game, that he maybe wouldn't have made that decision that he made today.
Maybe, yeah, maybe not. I mean, ultimately, he could have just come to the same conclusion regardless of what happened last night. But yeah, I mean, that changes everything. And I want to touch on something you said earlier that, the one thing about him that I don't think you can argue, I really don't think there's a debate, is how hard he plays. That the chopper I talked about, where he hit it up the third baseline, where he almost beat it out. I don't know. I watch a lot of baseball every night, and I see a lot of guys half-assing it. I really do. A lot of time, half-assing it up first base when they know that's going to be a play. He never half-asses it, ever. Ever. And,
he did not go to the Robinson Cano base running school.
He did not. He did not. He did not. All right. Let's welcome in Mr. Positivity here on a Friday. It's going to be a little shortened show today. The Vampires playing in a baseball game that starts at 11. I'd like to go and watch it. So that's okay with you guys.
Hey, at least you're honest about it.
Yeah. I
think all parents of kids who play sports, can appreciate that.
I want to go watch. I would like to go watch and play a little game. So you know what? You guys keep it nice and tidy with your comments today, Egan. Don't go on a filibuster and some rant about something. All right. What do you make of this news? Hey, what do you make of the news of Julio pulling out of the All-Star game?
Well, I'm just actually getting the news, guys, because I literally was been on the pickleball court since 6 a.m. and I just got off the court. So fill me in, Puckett.
Julio has I think I just saw a statement from Julio. He has released a statement. He says, I'm really honored that my peers voted me into the All-Star game. That means a lot to me. Prayer emoji. As much as I'd love to be out there, I want to take this time to take care of my body and fully prepare for the second half of the season. It's definitely tough to miss out on the All-Star experience, but I'll be cheering on all the guys and wishing them and their families an amazing week. So he's not going to participate in the All-Star festivities.
So I'm just getting that news for the first time, and I am in full 100% backing of Julio on this decision. I am, and I'm going to say this: the ultimate goal, if you're on that Seattle Mariners team, is to get this team into the playoffs. It's not about individual accolades right now. And Julio, as we know, is not where he needs to be, whether it's physically, mentally, and these players, guys, we say this so much, they get so little time off. They get maybe 1 day stretches possibly. And during that 1 day, they're just pulled everywhere. So if you could get a 3-day stretch where you can kind of just get away and get your mind right, your body right, to help you, then I'm all for it. I think this is a great move. Julio's been to the All-Star game. He knows what it's about. So in my mind, this is a player that's saying, you know what, I'm putting team above individual right now. So I'm all for it. I think it's good news if you're a Seattle Mariners fan.
Hey, Chris, we always talk about your positivity for good reason, because you're an optimistic, glass half full person. Are you feeling that Julio's going to get it going in the second half?
Jim, I've seen nothing to show me that it's going to click. I think this is maybe a positive sign right here. I mean, you have to look at trends and stats and what he's done in the past, and tends to get hotter as the year goes on in July and August. But yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of people, I've seen it on social media about moving him down in the batting order. I don't see any problem with that, to be honest with you. I mean, it's got to be baby steps with him. And the good news is he doesn't have to put the weight of the entire team on him right now. I mean, it doesn't have to happen. When you see what Cal's doing and everybody else around him, he needs to realize that the team's not on he just needs to be a lot better. But to answer your question, Jim, I haven't seen anything yet that has shown me like, okay, he's going to really get going here. So hopefully, though, this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a track record of always putting these second half of the seasons great. He's always been great in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
But we said this before. Like I always feel, I mean, it's glass half empty. That God, it's 1 year. It's not going to be that way. Just kind of the law of averages. Where like one season he doesn't have a great second half, and I don't know if it's going to be this year. I mean, he's not off to a great July start, but if he continues to post numbers that he's posting now, I mean, they will once again miss the playoffs because they can add whatever they want to add at the deadline, and they're going to add something, whether it's a big move or a small move. But if he doesn't get it going, they will fail again to make the playoffs.
I'm with you, Puck. He has to, because you cannot expect Cal Raleigh just to keep doing what he's doing right now. And you need people to step up. And the number one person right now you need to step up is Julio Rodriguez. And that's why when you jump on this podcast and you tell me that news, I'm actually like, okay. That's a step in the right direction. I don't know if that was from management. I don't know if that's from, if that's Dan Wilson, if that's Julio's people telling him like, you know what, you don't need to be there, Julio. You don't need to be there. Take a break, get some rest, get your mind right, and let's get ready to rock and roll. So, because you guys know, I mean, it is a grind for these guys. I mean, just Puckett, you just think of your kids' team. I mean, you guys practice every night. You got a game here at 11. I mean, they don't even get a break. Now take it to the next level with the professional sports. So I'm all for it.
Well, and I'll bring this up. Something that Jim we haven't talked about all year long, and again, and people go, "Oh, you're making excuses for him." Maybe I am. He went through something that he hasn't really talked about a lot. He talked about one time, and I know then his girlfriend talked about. I mean, his house was burglarized. I mean, and with his girlfriend in the house. Yeah. In the house, locking herself in a bathroom with intruders banging on the door. And who she has no idea what's going to go on. Are they going to try and kill her? Is her life in danger? He's not there. I'm just saying, I don't know how. I don't know how would that affect you in your job, what you do every day. Now, imagine being a professional athlete, someone in the public eye, having to go to work every day, dealing with that in the back of your head. Remember, he didn't talk about it forever. It wasn't until I think maybe a month or two after it had happened that he actually had spoken about it publicly. So I guess I always have to remind myself of these guys have stuff going on and gals have stuff going on in their lives that we don't know about that can affect their play on the court, on the field, on the ice, all that stuff.
No, I'll let Jim jump in after, but Puck, I think you nailed it on the head. We forget so often, and these are human beings. I go back to Russell Wilson when he had a rough run and he lost his best friend, his mentor, Trevor Moawad, and everybody just kept kind of like, what's going on? His best friend just died of cancer. I mean, these guys are human beings. They have emotions. I'm sorry, man. You go to Mitch Garver, who was getting death threats last year. We don't get this stuff every day at work. I mean, there's people that get on there like, Egan, how come you're not covering the Bellarmine Prep girls volleyball team? That's the negativity. I don't have somebody that's threatening me. I hope to God nobody robs, my house and my wife and kids are in here. But yeah, you're right, Puck. That's crazy stuff to go through that and to mentally battle through that, you know? So I agree with you. And he will never make that as an excuse. But that is reality. I mean, he went through it. So how many of us listening, how many of us have gone through that? Not a lot of us.
Well, and that maybe even entered into his decision to not go to the All-Star game. I mean, he's had a lot. It had already slipped my mind. And you're right. I mean, how terrifying that must have been to get that news and all the personal stuff going on there. So, yeah, that had to factor in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not – people are going to be like, oh, you're making excuses for him. Whatever. I'm just saying that he's gone through something in his personal life that was probably very jarring for him. And I don't know if that's led to, again, I mean, you can't make a correlation as it led to any of his problems offensively because it hasn't affected him defensively. So we'll wait and see. But
just
again,
that one defensive play, Puck, when he went into the wall and the ball went like 5 feet to the right.
Still don't understand what he was doing.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't think anybody quite understands what the hell happened there. But God, they got to get turned around. I mean, and this is going to be, I hope it's a fun rest of the summer. But now they're out of the playoffs because they're now 7 games back at Houston, Jim. And now with Boston rolling, I know Boston's playing cupcakes, whatever. But now they're a game back of Boston for that third wild card. And God, Boston just, traded away their best player a month ago.
Well, Puck, this has been an amazing podcast. I mean, they're all, Chris, would you agree that the Puck Sports podcasts are amazing in and of themselves? I mean, they're one of the most amazing podcasts out there. But why it's even more amazing than usual today is that we've gone 41 minutes without talking about not only the worst Mariners loss this season. Like everybody's like, is this the worst loss of the season? Well, shit, I've been watching this stuff since 77. I mean, it's got to be top 10 worst loss ever. Wasn't it last night?
I agree, Jim. Yes, it is. When you have a performance like that, and maybe Mariners PR and others are to blame for tooting Brian Woo's horn before the game was over, because we were all praising Woo. Everybody's tweeting, he's the greatest. And then the next thing, it was a total disaster, Jim. It was absolutely I agree with you. I'm thinking in my mind, I got a top 5. I remember there was a few games where they lost like 13-run leads, but that was awful. Yeah.
Like the one in 01 against Cleveland. Remember?
Cleveland. I was thinking of the Cleveland game. Yeah.
Up by a gazillion. They end up what cost them the all-time wins record. But Jim, you're right. I mean, that was
they didn't have a guy throwing a no-hitter that day, though.
That's true.
That's true.
That was an all-timer.
Okay, let me ask you this too.
All-time.
Well, okay, 2 things. Number one, so we're driving from Bend to Spokane, and we're on our way to Missoula. I'm going to a buddy's memorial tomorrow there in Stevensville, Montana. So I'm listening to the broadcast on the radio.
Yeah.
And, as things fell apart, Brash came in, gave up the home run, and then Munoz, we all know how it all just broke down. And so my wife is just the whole time going, God, Brian Woo, I feel so bad for him. Brian Woo, I feel so bad. She said that 3 or 4 times. I go, honey, what about me? I bet $40 on the Mariners today. How do you think I'm feeling right now? So she didn't really find that amusing at all. The other thing I'm wondering, and this is just a baseball superstition thing. Gary Hill and Rick Riz, I love them both, especially Gary because he's a Coug. They refused to say the whole time that Woo had a no-hitter going. They just talked around it. Egan, if you're calling a game, and I know Dave Sims never did that, but it was interesting listening to that as it went 5 innings, 6 innings, 7 innings, where they would say, the Yankees have zeros across the board. They were different ways, they were saying he's mowed down 20 hitters in a row, but we never heard the part about Brian Woo has a no-hitter through 6 1/3.
No, that was the criticism of Sims. He would say it after the 2nd inning.
No, but why is it a criticism of Sims? Don't you want to know that there's a no-hitter going? And they didn't say anything about a no-hitter until he lost the no-hitter.
Well, but I listened to Gary Hill. He said he would say that's 12 retired. He would be like, the only base runners that Brian Woo has been given up are the first walks or the first 2 hitters of the game with walks. I mean, he told you.
But no one said he has a no-hitter going.
Well, then you have to be a general idiot if you didn't understand.
I know that. I know that. But how do you feel about that as a broadcaster or as a fan?
Jim, it's baseball superstition, but I'm with you. Why are we to think we have so much power? Like we're the almighty God that if we say, he's got a no-hitter, he's going to lose it. It's like we don't have that much power to do that.
Egan, do you wear any funny underwear when you play in a big pickleball match or socks or something?
I have superstitions.
Literally. Yeah.
I was in Bellingham last night watching the Bells take on the Riverhawks, and we couldn't hit the ball. And I told my wife, I go, scoot down a seat. And she's like, why? I go, because it's not working with us sitting in seats 7 and 8.
What power do you have?
I have zero power because we still couldn't hit the ball on the Bellingham one.
Why don't we turn my hat inside out and the bottom of the ninth into rally cap? I don't know.
Real quickly before I forget this story, I have to tell you the story from that game. The Bellingham has a thing that if they strike out a certain batter from the other team, everybody gets a free they get a free burger at a Dairy Queen. So they strike out this Edmonton guy in the 8th inning, and so we all get a free coupon for Dairy Queen, a burger. So we're walking out, and I told my wife, I'm like, get a burger. We're going to get a Dairy Queen on the way out. So she gets a coupon, I get a coupon, and we have to take our son home because he's been doing some stuff with some family events we have going on here. So we get in the car, and I go, hey, we're going to Dairy Queen. And he literally goes, you guys aren't using the coupon, are you, for striking out one of my teammates? I go, well, yeah. He would not. I give my son a lot of credit. He would not eat the burgers because it was one of his teammates that cost us to get the free burgers.
He's like a modern Julio.
Like, not bad, but I enjoyed the burger myself. But
you had no problem eating the burger. Hey,
Yeah.
did you turn to your son and go, "Hey, this is for Jimmy. This is for little this is for Donnie." Yeah.
Thank Jimmy for me. I really like that Brazier burger.
Hey, tell Jimmy. Tell Jimmy tomorrow. Way to look at that third strike that was right down the fucking middle.
Actually, he swung at some high heat.
Oh, the tomahawk! I love the third strike tomahawk chop, like we're playing lacrosse. That's always fun,
man. So we got to stop in Mount Vernon and pick up for a couple burgers.
Of course you do. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? I love it. Good. Are their season winding down for the old Riverhawks?
They're getting to the All-Star break, so they're heading over to take on the Port Angeles Lefties this week, which, if you know your West Coast League history, that was where Tariq Skubal pitched during his summertime over with the Port Angeles Lefties.
Is that what we're calling him, Tariq?
Tarek Skubal, Tariq, Tarek Skubal. Thank you, Puckett, for correcting me on that one.
Yeah, I'm pitching today.
Oh.
Against the Mariners.
I'm like,
Tarek.
Is there a new guy, Tariq Skubal?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Puck. After listening I cut post game every night for King 5 with Dan Wilson. I'm not sure what anybody is called anymore. Because I don't know if you two have had the privilege of listening to Dan Wilson's post game shows, but he doesn't call anybody by their real name. Like you have Trent Thornton is Thorny. He just uses nicknames for everybody. So that's what I'm doing now.
Do you call it a privilege to listen to Dan Wilson?
I do. Yes, it is.
Okay.
I was listening the other day.
You remember him as a player, though. Dan
Wilson
wasn't the cubicle that you walked up to looking for a good quote, though.
No. But he was always there for you, Jim. He was always there. He was dependable. He was always dependable.
Yeah. He was always. How about did you both of you cross paths with Lee Elia your day?
Not a lot. I did not a lot myself. No. I don't know if
Jim.
I did not cross paths with Lee Elia, Puck, but I do remember, I hope I'm not off on this, but wasn't he the Cubs manager?
Yeah, when he went off on the fans.
That had the rant going off on the fans.
Sitting out there.
That's what I thought.
Sitting out there drunk in the bleachers.
Lee Elia, but the one thing I remember about him, not so much his time with the Mariners, but the rant that he had on fans there at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, he was great, man. He was great. He was old school baseball guy. I mean, that is Lee Elia was an old school baseball junkie. Sit and telling off-color jokes as you're taking BP before a game, scratching his balls, spitting out tobacco. He's a baseball guy. That was a baseball guy.
Well, clearly meant a lot to Dan Wilson too, because he was choking up talking about him before the game.
Just part of the greatest, run of Mariners baseball we ever had. The absolute greatest run with the greatest manager and the greatest team and all that. So it was just a sad thing yesterday there for Lee Elia. Hey, before you go, I wanted to ask you this, Egan, because you're gonna have some perspective on this. I'm not sure you've seen this yet. Our good friend John Manley. Yeah. All right. We all love John Manley. Well, maybe some people don't.
The TNT's John Manley?
TNT's John Manley. He has come up with the top 10 high school football stadiums in the South Sound.
Oh, this is
okay. This is the time of year we're doing this. We're doing lists.
In July.
In July, this is what we got to do. Number 5, Chris Egan. He has the Lincoln Bowl in Tacoma. Number 5 on the list.
Maybe in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, it hasn't really been there lately.
Okay, but it's got a pretty background with one of the best schools ever.
Gorgeous background, yeah.
Number 4, Sunset Chev Stadium in Sumner, Washington.
The crowd makes that a beautiful. The crowd and the band are the reason you would put that up there. Yes.
Number 3 on his list is the Stadium Bowl in Tacoma. Of course, made famous by one of the greatest movies ever, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes, the Heath Ledger, and then Babe Ruth hit a home run out of there into the ocean. Yeah.
Number 2 on his list, Mount Tahoma Athletic Stadium in Tacoma, Washington.
What is this? Just like nice? I don't know.
I'm just telling you what he came up with. Don't
You disagree with the list, Chris?
Number one,
Oklahoma, but environment, Friday night environment never doesn't come to mind. With
Okay.
Stadium.
Number one, Spark Stadium in Puyallup, Washington. As he writes, it houses a seating capacity of 5,000. It was renovated, expanded in 1987. He says
a lot of great games there. I would put Pete's Pool number 1 on my list in Enumclaw.
Okay, so I want your top 5. You go Enumclaw number 1.
Enumclaw would be 1. Watching Hoquiam and Aberdeen play.
Okay. What's
stadium,
that called?
What is that stadium called?
Just winning. Aberdeen and Hoquiam.
Yeah, it's wherever they play. I think that just something historic about that place.
Is that the Spaghetti Bowl, the Fish Bowl, or something? What is it called?
Spaghetti Bowl's Capital Olympia.
Okay.
They have a one-side seat stadium, which I'm not a big fan of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Pete's Pool. I just think there's something special about that place in Enumclaw. 2, I'd go Hoquiam, Aberdeen.
Okay.
I mean, if you're talking beauty, sure, Stadium and Lincoln Bowl are great, but I mean, those things haven't been filled up since 1965. So
give me environments. What's number 3?
Yeah, I would say environment. I'd go Sunset Chef Stadium. I can't disagree there because they bring it. They bring it there. I mean, I think Spark Stadium has been a nice venue, and Puyallup has nice rivals with Rogers and ER, and they usually have a pretty good crowd. So I can see where he's going there. I'm gonna hold off on that one though, and I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna head down to beautiful Yelm, Washington, home of the home. I'm gonna go to Yelm. I like that place. That place packs it up. They have a great environment there too.
Hey, when are we gonna break the news why he decided to leave that head coaching job and go to Arizona?
I don't know. I text him and he's text back, and we haven't discussed that. Here's another one I can't believe we haven't mentioned because I love it because the neighbors shoot off fireworks every time a touchdown is scored. It's Tumwater.
Oh, seriously? They fire off fireworks?
Yeah, there's a neighbor, and the neighbor has like a museum of Tumwater football over there. If you go check out his house, I mean, I'm all about history and. I love the history, and I love a good environment. I love good crowds and the band. So that's what I think about when I think about, football games. So, until somebody can knock off Pete's Pool, I still think that's number 1 for
Pete's
me.
Pool. Is that an Enumclaw where they come out of the hog trailer, the offensive lineman?
Come out of the hog trailer. If you hit a field goal on the, I believe it's the north side, you'll hit a log cabin. So I mean, and it's the old school bathrooms, like the Kingdom troughs.
Yes.
So if somebody down at the very end of the troughs had too many vitamins or asparagus, you see that coming right past you. Yeah, it's the old school. I mean,
get the odor of it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many fields still have grass, guys, but when I want to, Ferndale used to have grass. I haven't been up there in a few years, but that was a fun spot to go to.
I'll give you one that back in the day, because when they were rocking and rolling and they were really good.
Kentwood was one of the best environments back in the day. But
what, French Field?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying the Kentwood crowd was pretty.
Oh yeah. But we don't care about Kentwood. Kentridge. We are KR.
Chatelaine.
The Chatelaine still rocking and rolling, still the best dance team in the state. Would be. Have you ever watched a game on a Friday night in September? With the sun going down at Skyline Stadium, Skyline High School, Skyline Spartans. That's a great venue.
Yeah, they kind of have it enclosed in the end zone a little bit too.
Yeah,
that's a cool
that's a good spot. Yeah,
it's the only place where the moms try to outdress the girls too. That's what it's always.
Well, the hunter hats, they wear their hunter boots and the poncho hats.
But you can see the Mount Si kind of in the background there. It's a good spot.
Now, Puck, this one's going to be a sore subject for some because the game has been moved to Mount Tahoma Stadium. Was the Fishbowl, Gig Harbor and Peninsula?
Yeah.
They no longer play out there at Peninsula High. But I mean, if you wanted probably one of the top 10 environments in the state. That was when they played there. But yeah, I mean, I think I get what he's saying on Mount Tahoma. It's really nice, and that's why they do the state track meet there. It's just I'm looking for more than clean urinals and a nice press box. I'm looking for old school environment. That's what I want.
So not a big fan of John Manley's list then.
Well, I know. I mean, I love John, and I'll have to read what that top 10 was about. Mine's more about environment. I also love, I love talk about old school baseball. This is going to be a nice transition. One of my favorite baseball fields I visit is where Mount Vernon baseball plays at the Skagit Valley Fairgrounds, where you hit a home run, you hit it into the Cows barn. And with that in mind, here's the transition. Good luck this weekend, Xavier Nyans. MLB draft is on Sunday. We have at least two kids, maybe three, that have a good chance to get picked pretty high in this draft with X up in Mount Vernon. You got Mason and Gage at Puyallup High School. So you could have some kids getting picked. So what a time to be one of these young gentlemen, from high school or college, to get that call. I can't even imagine. I saw Brian Wu calling his parents when he got named to the All-Star game, but how about the call, Jim or Jason, if your kid calls you that they just got drafted? I mean, that's going to be a pretty special weekend. So good luck to all the kids there. I think X has a good chance to go in the first round. We'll see where Mason Pike goes. And then you have to make a decision, guys. Do I go play with this team, or do I take my college scholarship and go play there? So, and I don't think they get a lot of time to decide on that stuff. So it'll be interesting.
All right, boys, a short abbreviated show today. Thank you so much for doing it. Egan, go take a shower. Look at your hot and sweaty for playing pickleball. Jim, thank you so much. Thank you to your neighbors or your friends for letting you do the show there in the backyard and carving out time. Appreciate
no problem, Puck. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. All right, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Go get them in baseball, Puck.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're going to do a shorter show today just because Son's got a baseball game that starts in a few minutes. I'd like to go watch it. I think like many of you out there would like to go watch your kids play. But, of course, we've got to wrap up the show with Hey, What the Puck, which is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. It's your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated, by the way. Make them your first call when these damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. I just want to piggyback and recap the Julio decision. Julio announcing that, again, he's not going to participate in the home run derby, the All-Star festivities, wants to concentrate on the second half of the season. I applaud him for making that decision. I'm sure it was a very hard decision to make and one that he probably contemplated a lot about. And I think anyone wants to go and represent their team, themselves, to be recognized in an all-star game. And whether you agree with it or not, that he was selected to do it, his peers thought he was, they elected him to the all-star game. But he made the decision for him, get some rest and put the Seattle Mariners first for the second half of the season. This is obvious to everyone, but if he cannot get it turned around offensively and cannot be the player that he has shown in the past that he's capable of in the second half of the season, they will miss out on the playoffs one more year. And it's 2 straight years where they've missed it by one game. Is it? Now, is the division out of reach? No, but it's getting close. 7 games is a lot to make up. Can they do it? Obviously, you can do anything. They got plenty of games to do it, but that's going to be a tough hill to climb. Wild card appears to be their best round. But now they're a game out of the wild card with a red-hot Boston team that, again, was benefited by kind of the schedule that they played here recently. But they will make moves at the deadline. But there will be no bigger move that they need to make at the deadline to get him on the right path moving forward offensively. MLB Central, Mark DeRosa did a great breakdown of what is going on, what he sees, what is going on with him in his swing and his setup and everything. It's something that Bill Kruger told us on Monday. It's the exact same thing. The forward press. It takes him too long to swing. He's too long. You've got multiple guys that can see the same thing. Why can Kevin Seitzer and Edgar Martinez not see the same thing? Or why are they not able to deliver that news to Julio? See if he makes some adjustments. See how he responds in the second half. If he comes out in the second half and catches fire, and they catch fire, you're going to look back on the decision he made today to put the Seattle Mariners first. Maybe that will change many people's opinions about Julio Rodriguez. All right, that's Hey What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle. Give them a call, 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Thank you. Sorry for the abbreviated show, but, your family comes first, all right? Thank you for watching and listening today. Thank you to all our sponsors, Limbeck Lumber, A Clean Streak, also Restoration One. Today's Daily Puck Drop, find it up on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Also find the Daily Puck Drop on your favorite podcast platforms and, of course, up at pucksports.com. When you're there, sign up to become a member of the Pucks Posse. $5 a month to support all the free content, VIP and exclusive content there as well. Like our baseball coverage with MLB insider Ryan Divish, the Sports Pit with Steve Sandmeyer, Matt Stretch Johnson, Mitchie the Kid every single Thursday. And check out the new Graz with Gas Take 5 podcast, which is produced by Puck Sports. New episodes every Monday on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Just search Graz with Gas Take 5. And, of course, find it up at pucksports.com. Everybody enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday. Until then, promise to be better.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rob you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!